Welcome back to His and Hers Movie Podcast. This is episode number 20, The Big 2-0, featuring a review of Exorcism at 60,000 feet, which is, I believe, like a Shout Factory release. I am one half of your hosting duo, podcasting out of southwestern Pennsylvania on Carly's couch, and joining me tonight, podcasting out of the same place, is
Carly.
It is May 24th for about 6 more minutes.
Yes. We are back on the couch, which doesn't apply to this pod because we used to say that on Netflix and chill, but this is the first time we have podcasted in the same room since we first started Netflix and chill, which is really weird.
Really?
Yeah, dude, we never went back to that format. Actually, it was funny, like, Shane was over yesterday, and he was like, so you guys don't do it together? He, like, assumed we did all our podcasts in the same room, like, everyone. I was like, no, we just go on Skype. It's easier that way. But, yes, we are back. It is Memorial Day weekend. It is Sunday right now, so I am off tomorrow, which is nice. But how are you doing today, JPig?
Well, obviously not the best.
Yes.
As you know. I won't go into detail, but going through a lot of hard stuff right now, so just trying to keep my head on straight for a little bit and, you know, just try to keep moving forward, I guess. But yeah.
Yes.
I really don't know what to say.
Alright, little guy. Well, that is alright. I, for one, I'm alright. I'm very hot right now. It's very hot in my living room. And that is the reason you're here. You came over to put my air in the windows because you are a big, strong man. So,
right.
That happened. Today I spent some time with the fam, which was nice. Second weekend in a row that I did that. And, you know, that was nice. Tomorrow's Memorial Day. I'm probably going to lay around, do nothing but watch movies because I kind of got out of the movie watching game for a few days here. Starting to get stressed because it seems like life is coming back to normal, which is a good thing, but at the same time, I'm like, I had so much time to watch movies, and I could tell that's going to deteriorate, but, nevertheless, I'll keep trucking on, and, yeah, so I did that today. I had a flat tire on, Tuesday. I tried to call you to be on my knight in shining arm hair, but, where were you when I called you to be my knight in shining arm hair?
I think I was sleeping.
Yes, so I had to call a backup knight in shining arm hair. I called your cousin's. I didn't call him actually at all. Your cousin texted her boyfriend to come and fix lay tire for me, and then I got that fixed yesterday morning, and there was a big ass nail in it, which was annoying, but so that's taken care of, and that's pretty much all that I have going on in my exciting life. So.
Maybe your neighbor planted a nail behind your tire.
Dude, I'm not even kidding. There was like glass broken on the ground right next to my car for a while, and I don't know what it was from, but I was thinking, like, if there's a piece of glass in my tire from this, I am going to put one in my neighbor's tire. But it was not that. I think it was probably either from the work site up the road or the actual parking lot at my work, which is pretty annoying, but you know, it happens. I never got a flat tire before, but...
Why didn't you just fix it?
Because, I know how to fix a tire. I do. I've seen it happen, but I fear that I would not be strong enough to jack up the whip and, take the bolts, the nuts off of the tire to change it.
Called?
Nuts.
What kind of nuts?
Lug nuts.
Good job.
I know that because in A Christmas Story, the kid is told to help his dad and hold the nuts, but he, you know, drops them and he's like, oh, fudge. But he's like, but I didn't say fudge. I said fuck. And that is the one F. Oh, okay. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I didn't want to make a fool of myself basically outside my workplace trying to change a tire when I knew darn well that I probably would not be physically able to, so I had to call in a big strong man.
We just mentioned on the Human Centipede episode that I was like, yeah, you know, I'm pretty sure that women, it's pretty, like, you know, because the two girls there don't know how to change the tire. And I'm like, yeah, that's actually kind of believable because I feel like a lot of people, a lot of women don't actually know how to change a tire, including you.
We know how to. It's just they're tightened on there.
Do you feel like you are not independent?
I feel like I could have changed the tire realistically if I was like in the middle of nowhere and had no other option. Yes, I could have got out there and changed the tire. It would have taken me a very long time. My mom and I were discussing this today, actually, that we could probably do that if we had no other option. But it's easier because naturally women aren't as strong as the men. So
right,
but I hate to say.
I'm strong. I could change tires.
Well, the reason I kind of knew I wasn't going to be able to do it is because one time I learned to change a tire from watching you. I'll give you that. But watching you, you just struggled so hard to get those, like, lug nuts
off. What the hell?
And this dude, like, Shannon's man, he just comes riding in on a horse. He's like, you having a bad day? He gets out there. He changes that sucker in a second. So I don't know what...
Well, first of all...
What?
He does that for a living.
What do you mean?
His job is changing tires all day.
Oh, well.
Okay. Second of all, I did not struggle changing the tire. There was one lug nut that was on there extra tight from it being like rusted and, you know, not having any type of lubrication or anything. It was just, you know, it was
I just remember you being like, oh, I gotta call in my pap, I gotta call in the fire department, I gotta get the cops over here to help me.
And then what happened?
With this. Then you got it after like 10 more minutes.
Yeah. You tried.
Yeah, but that's where I learned that I probably would struggle to get these off.
Look, I'm gonna be honest, that one was like way tighter than normal.
Well, how many tires have you changed in your life?
How many tires have I changed? I changed my friend Nicole's once. We were driving around drinking.
What?
We were driving around drinking, and we had Shannon, my cousin Shannon, and my cousin Brandon in the trunk, and we were...
What?
we were just messing around, you know, like just driving.
No!
Listen, I was a teenager, okay?
That was only okay
very
in the 80s,
irresponsible. And we popped the tire with them in the trunk. And so me and my cousin Brian got out and actually, to be fair, we're not that irresponsible. My cousin Brian was driving. He was not drinking.
Wait, what do you mean they were in the trunk? They're laying in the trunk, or you had an SUV? And
no, they were in the trunk. Like, we put them in the car, the trunk of the car.
Where were you going? You made it sound like your joy. Like, I'm picturing Shannon just laying down in the trunk, like, not able to move.
We went down there.
Down there, okay.
And we were drinking, and my cousin Brian didn't drink. He just smoked weed. And Baby Brian is what we called him. And Nicole was drinking. He was kind of our D&D. What is it? D&D? DD.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know, I don't know how it came about, but Shannon and Brandon got in the trunk and we closed it on them. And then we like drove around in the parking lot doing like figure eights and donuts practically and stuff. And then we popped the tire.
That sounds like a horrible night.
Well, it was fun. It was just funny.
Oh, I see.
Shannon rode in the trunk a bunch whenever she would get drunk. I think it was like a ride for her or something. But that was the first time I ever changed a tire. And then after that, this girl named Corinne, she had a flat tire at her house, and me and my friend DJ changed that tire. But the problem is like the jack was like broken. It kept like deflating. So we got like it was like stripped or something. It was weird. So that was a really pain. And then I changed that Volkswagen I used to have. I had a flat tire on there before. And then I changed the Grand Am. That was the one that had the flat tire, right?
No, that was the one you have, the blue one, the
Are you
Dodge.
sure?
Yeah, it was. Because they were like big tires. Yeah, it definitely was 100%.
Okay, well, I changed...
That was recently. That wasn't like a long time
are you
ago.
sure?
Yes, I'm 100% sure. That wasn't even a full year ago, I don't think. That was right... No, that was right when I was... That was right when I was... That was right when I was moving out of that house. Like... You wrecked that other... I mean, you got wrecked into with that other car like a year before that.
Yeah, well, okay, so I changed one in the Grand Am, or two even, And then that blue car, I changed like 3 times. I got like 3 flats in that one.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm just saying.
So I've changed a bunch of tires. And one time, you're right, I did, that blue car, one of the first times that I got a flat tire in that, it was like so like rusted, like, because I bought that car, it was sitting for a while, and I was on my way to work and I got a flat tire in the morning, but I was house sitting for our friend Robin, and I got a flat tire out there, and I actually did have to call my pap because I couldn't get it off for the life of me. Like, I got the lug nuts off, all of the lug nuts, and it was stuck to it. And he had to bring a sledgehammer and like bash it to get it loosened up. But yeah, so basically I'm strong.
Oh, is that what we get out of this?
Yeah, I could see why your first, call to action would be to call me.
No, I just... Ew, dude, come on.
What?
We're in the same room, oh, I'm so mad. You didn't have to do that in the mic.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but anyway,
Why do you got your face covered?
Because, dude, like, that was just gross. I'm disgusted. Anyway, so, yes, my thing is that I could change a tire if I want. Moral of the story. Anyway, so yeah, I think that's our tire talk for the day. What?
I was just looking at something, but what do you mean that's our tire talk for the day?
Oh, that's our tire talk for the first time ever and probably last time. So.
Yeah. Well, I know how to change tires.
Alright. Well, I do too.
No, you don't.
Theoretically, I do. Theoretically, I do.
Why don't you try to change it?
Theoretically. What?
And also, like, you call me early ass in the morning and expect me to change a tire.
It was noon. I was on lunch at work. It was like noon 30. 12:30.
Okay.
And I knew you weren't going to answer. I knew it in my head.
A freaking M.
No, that's at night. That's what we're on right now, dude.
No, dude.
It is the changing of the days.
No.
It is 12:05 a.m.
No,
right
because think about it, right? So you have 1 p.m., right?
Yes.
And what's at the end of... It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, what?
12.
So it would be 12 p.m.
No,
dude.
Dude.
It's the end of the cycle.
You can't argue that.
It's the end of the cycle.
Okay, sure, in your head, but you can't, like, actually argue that with me. That's not a fact. That's actually wrong. Like, that's not up for debate. It's, like, actually not.
I don't think you understand.
Like, right now, it's...
They're probably laughing at you.
You're stupid. Anyway, but, yeah, I called you. I knew it was a hopeless thing to do, but I tried, and then I called my mom, and she was all like, she gets all frantic.
Did she tell you to call me?
Yeah, she was like, could you get a hold of Justin? And I was like, he's sleeping, I think. And then, like, she was like, oh, I don't know what to do. I'll just try to get a hold of him again. I was like, all right, I'll try. And then, dude, what are you doing?
What?
You're, like, spinning nails on my coffee table. This coffee table cost me, like, $5 at Family Dollar. Dude, come on, dude.
What?
You're making this toxic and hers.
That's you.
No, I swear. But anyway, and so then I complained to my coworkers, and that is when Shannon was like, I got a man on it. The end.
Yeah, well, like I said, he does that for a living, and I'm sure he was probably not too happy to be woke up early ass in the morning either. What?
No one's being woke up at 12 unless they work the night shift.
Like me.
No, you work the evening shift. I mean, like, they actually work all night long and have the right to be asleep during the day.
Like me.
No, dude.
I don't get it.
I don't know, dude. You're the only, like, adult that acts like this.
Acts like what?
Like, acts like you're allowed to just sleep all day.
I don't you need to be well rested?
I've never met anyone like you before.
Like what?
Besides,
Explain
boy.
it to the listeners, because I'm not sure what you mean.
So JPig here thinks that, like, oh, I work 3 to 11, so that means I have to stay up all night, and that's my day, and then I get to sleep all day long up until 3 to 11 comes around again. So basically there's no point in the day where he's awake or, like, not at work now. because he thinks that like being up all night is what you do when you work 3 to 11. So, and we had a big argument about this.
I just don't see. I feel like people's definitions of early are wrong.
Well, what do you mean?
Like, to me, like, noon is early.
It's early if you're sleeping in. Like
if I know I have to like get up at noon, I'm like, damn, this is early. No, maybe not noon. Like 11. Like 11 is so early to me. Like I remember we were doing the trivia thing and they wanted to do it at like 10, and I like had a panic attack because I was like, that is so early.
I do agree. I would never want to do a podcast early in the morning. I think that's lame. But
we did it on 22 shots for like a couple weeks, where we were doing them at like, I think like 9 a.m.
Oh
or
my God.
It was like 8 a.m. moods this time. So like 8, 9, 10. It was like 10 a.m. our time. And Moods was not having that really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really wasn't for him.
It kills the vibe.
Jeremy liked it.
Why would? Oh my God. But yeah, I don't know, dude. Oh no, I have my sound on. Oh, okay. But what I'm trying to say is you're fake.
Why am I fake?
I don't know, dude. Just get better at sleeping and like being a human during the day. Is all.
Why?
Because, dude, it's annoying. It's just like, what if I need you for something really important and you're just in bed like. That's snory noises.
I don't think they were loud enough.
I can't do that. I'm not doing it again. Anyway, can we move on to the moves?
Well, I'm just saying, I also put your air conditioners in that you couldn't do yourself.
I already said that you came over here to do that.
So you couldn't do it yourself.
They're heavy. I could have got my dad on it.
Hashtag?
Kurt.
I don't think Kurt would have did it.
Yeah, he would have. He would have been thrilled. That's like his one, like... You know how, like, some people are just good at, like, very few things?
What's his good at?
Putting the air in and building my bed. Putting my bed together whenever I, like, move or something.
So, like, once every, like, 5 years?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Alright, so what do you want to do?
I guess we're going to get into what we have watched.
Okay, I will go first.
Okay.
Okay, so, did I talk about Deep Red?
The last thing you talked about was names on the cup.
Okay. So, Deep Red was my 215th watch. I watched it as part of the last drive-in with Joe Bob Briggs. And Deep Red is kind of an interesting little giallo from Dario Argento. I think it's the one that people consider his best film. I, in fact, do not think it is Dario Argento's best film. I probably wouldn't. I don't know if it would even make my top 10. Honestly, like I think Tenebrae is a much better giallo, but that doesn't mean that Deep Red is bad. I think Deep Red's cool. I think that there's a little bit of a mixture of this like potential like little supernatural thing going on there in Deep Red, which is nice. And I like the like children's book and the score, and there's some cool like mystery. It feels like very mysterious, with the the steam from the shower and how the girl wrote the thing on the wall and stuff like that. That's all really cool and stuff. Joe Bob had a really funny commentary on the film and like talking about the giallos and Argento stuff. Like he made a point to bring up like was it like mise-en-scène? What does that mean?
I have no idea what that is.
Was it the whatever, one of the weird like pretentious-y film terms?
Oh.
Like he's like, don't come up to me and tell me that Dario Argento really had a great mise-en-scène like thing in his movie. He's like, because I will punch you in the face. And he keeps going on. He keeps bringing that back up. But it's funny because Joe Bob's smart, so he's like, I don't know what they mean by that. And then he's like, do they mean? And he breaks it down like exactly what somebody would mean, like all smart in like film terms. And he does that but then he ends it with still dissing him. And it was funny because he's basically making fun of pretentious people in general, and I really dug that. But it was a great little watch on The Last Drive-In. I give Deep Red a 8 out of 10. Then these next couple here is just going to be really quick because I pretty much watched them for the 22 shots that you'll hear later this week. The first film was Rec 2007, a Spanish horror film, found footage. These people go into an apartment complex while they are on a fire call along with a reporter who is documenting firemen. I said that kind of backwards.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really good movie. Not going to go into it too much, but it's super intense, super fast paced. Have you ever seen it?
No, I've only seen Quarantine. I want to watch Rec. That's one. I don't own any of those though, so.
I do have Rec 1 and 2 on DVD.
I shall take them.
Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, I watched Rec, and then I watched Rec 2, which, oh, by the way, Rec and Quarantine are like very similar. They're like almost the same movie, kind of like an Omen situation.
Oh no, it can't be that.
But no,
not in a bad way.
Yeah, well, some people think it is. I don't personally, but
yeah.
Rec 2 was made just 2 years later, but it opens up at the exact same place as the first Rec.
Whoa.
So it like, you know, follows the same apartment complex. So like, you know, the end of Quarantine, right?
Yeah.
You know, the girl up in the attic and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it ends. Well, Rec 2 basically picks up with like a SWAT team going into the building after all that happens.
Ooh.
And it's like the same building, looks really cool and stuff. There's just some minor missteps in it, but it's overall really solid watch too. Then I watched Scary Movie from 1991.
Oh,
this is I know this is part of my Run Through 91 series that's going on here for podcast prep. This is my 15th film. And how many have you watched?
15.
Well, whatever.
What?
This one I had as part of the AGFA, the AGFA line. I think it's like genre American Genre Film Association. I think that's what it is. But yeah, this is a fun little 90s horror film that features these teens at a carnival. There's like an escape. What was he, a mental patient or something?
Yeah.
And he goes in there and kills them, or does he?
Mm.
And then it kind of has like a ridiculous ending. But I enjoyed it. I gave that a 6 out of 10. And then I watched Rec 3 Genesis. And this one doesn't really follow the Rec films like the second one did. This one is like a side story, but it does feature... so basically how it's connected is, do you remember in Quarantine how the dog that they took to the vet was kind of how they tracked it back to the apartment complex, the virus?
Yes.
Okay, well that also happens in Rec. Well, this guy who's in a wedding was also at that veterinarian place.
Ooh, okay.
So this one's set during a wedding where the outbreaks, and the coolest thing about this movie is that it has the lead female in a wedding dress covered in blood with a chainsaw.
Wow.
And as I said on my Letterboxd review, I have a thing for women in bloody dresses wielding chainsaws.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
That specific
Yeah.
thing.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And then Rec 4 Apocalypse from 2014. That one decides to continue the story of Rec 2, so it's more of a direct sequel. By the way, Rec 3 and 4 both drop the found footage gimmick.
Oh, okay.
They're regular films.
That's weird.
Which is weird, yeah. This one's set on a boat. You know, just... You know,
the cover looks horrible.
To kind of give my, like, basic thoughts, I really wasn't a huge fan of it. Then I watched Blood Ties, which was part of my Run Through 91, number 16. How many was that you watched again?
15. Dude, you're fake.
Why?
Didn't you just say you've watched 15?
Yeah.
Okay, now you're gonna come out. You were 16.
Yeah.
You're fake.
How am I fake?
Because you made it sound like that was like you were. I don't know, dude. Just talk about blood ties.
It follows a kid whose parents are killed. He finds out they were vampires. What?
You're also messing up my order of movies.
All right. And he finds out his parents are vampires. He then finds out he's a vampire. He like runs away. Meanwhile, these people that kill his parents are after him. And he finds like this sort of coven of vampires and stuff. It was all right. Nothing super special. They can like walk around in the daylight and stuff. A 6 out of 10. I gave that one. Then I watched Quarantine, which is basically just like Rec. The big difference. What?
I almost had a panic attack because I realized we weren't on Skype, and then I remembered that we're in the same room, and we don't have to be on Skype.
You're stupid.
I got scared. I was like, oh no, we haven't been recording the show.
You're dumb.
Alright, go on.
Quarantine's basically Rec, but with a little bit more character development. The actors are mainstream, like you've seen them before. Jay Hernandez, Jennifer Carpenter from Dexter, of course, and
White Chicks.
Yes, I knew you would
And
know
Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Yeah, she's really young in that. It's weird.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, I don't even know, but yeah.
I think, right?
I don't know.
When
she
did
looks
that-
young. Well, wait.
Or she's just playing somebody really young.
I think she is, because I think that came out like around the same year, like 2005 maybe or something.
Yeah. Yeah, well, she's probably only like 20-something in this. I don't know. Anyway, Quarantine, I actually like it. I think it's pretty good. Then after that, I watched Don't Run. We signed up for the Horror Hound Festival. What's wrong over there?
Nothing. Just go on.
There was a Horror Hound Film Festival. I only watched 2 of the titles. Don't Run was okay. It was followed like this kid and this monster that told him he had to be in bed by a certain time or else he would get killed. It wasn't too bad. Unfortunately, this week was just hell and I was really busy, so I didn't have time to watch most of the features. I think there was like 7 features. It cost $15. I really liked the concept, and I wish I would have known about it ahead of time. I maybe would have set some time aside to try to get to these films.
Yeah.
I wish they would have made them more available to people that didn't have to watch them live, but I understand their reasons for not doing so. I think the online film festival could be a thing in the future, and I would love to see it continue, but that is Don't Run, a low-budget monster movie. I gave it a 5 out of 10. Then I watched Quarantine 2 Terminal. Have you seen that one?
No, I never watched that one.
Alright, so it's its own thing. It is not a remake of Rec 2. But it follows the same... It's actually set the same night as Quarantine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it's following people on a plane. And the virus breaks out on the plane. It's pretty cool concept. It wasn't too bad. Then I watched Trancers 1984. This is possibly Charles Band's best directed movie. Charles Band directed this for Full Moon. It follows a dude sent back in time, or sent to the future, named Jack Death, D-E-T-H. And there's these things called Trancers and like a big bad guy who's going to try to take over the world and he has to stop him and stuff. It was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. And then I watched Trancers 2, The Return of Jack Death from 1991 as part of my run through 91. Number 17. How many did you watch again?
Shut up, dude!
What?
You're being a jerk.
Why?
You set me up.
How'd I set you up?
You said that we were tied at 15.
And what are we at?
17?
And what are you at?
15?
So that would be 1.
I just thought we were like tied at 15 because you were like,
1.5.
you just made it seem like
1 3/4.
I just feel like you made it seem like that we were
1
like tied at like
7/8.
It's just it's 2, dude.
Oh.
It just made it seem like you were like tied with me, and I was happy.
Nope, you're slacking.
Oh.
So yeah, Trancers.
You're watching like Lifetime movies.
Trancers 2?
No, I mean like I hear you on 22 Shots. You're like, now my next what we watched is called "She Cheated on Her Husband and Then Murdered Him" from 1991, starring
As part of my run through 91.
Tracy Nelson. Yes.
Oh. Trancers 2, The Return of Jack Death. Basically, Jack Death's wife comes back from the past and meets his new wife. It's set like 6 or so years after the first film. Still, just as fun. It's very enjoyable. He has like these time abilities and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. Sci-fi, good stuff. Good full moon. I give that one a 7 out of 10 as well. And then the last film I watched was a film called Witness Infection from 2019. This is also a film that was part of that festival, and it wasn't anything really special. It was okay. It followed a mob boss trying to get his son to marry like this girl in an arranged marriage from another mob thing, and there's a zombie outbreak, and yeah, that's basically it. Gave that one a 5 out of 10 too. So that's mine. Have at it.
All right. Thank you for that riveting review, buddy. All right. So, first up, I watched They from, what was this, 2004? 2002? 2002, yes. They from 2002. I'd watched this back in the day when I was a kid, and I thought it was not that good then, and I thought it was pretty trash this time around too, honestly. It's just not a really good film. The acting's actually pretty crap, and the story's like generic, and it's just like, I don't like it that much. Wes Craven presents They, but Wes Craven's actually just not anything involved with it. Then after that, I watched Signs. Signs, I think it's a good one. I think it still holds up. I've heard some people say that they don't feel that way, but I like it. I think it's a creepy concept with the aliens, and then you also have like that other underlying messages and whatnot with, like the dad's character losing his faith and like all his sort of backstory and drama. There's a lot of quirky comedy in this movie that I never really realized, especially with the little kids. They just have like these kind of strange, quirky personalities. It works sometimes. Sometimes I do feel like it interferes a little bit with the film because it feels like it should be a more serious movie, and then you have like these comedic, almost ridiculous moments in it. But
like what?
Like the part where they're running around the house and he's like, "You have to curse," and he's like, "Oh, shit, I said it." You don't remember that?
No.
It's when, who is that? Mel Gibson? Is that who plays the dude? And then freaking Joaquin Phoenix.
No, that's Joaquin Phoenix.
No, yes, okay, Joaquin Phoenix is the other one.
Is that the Joker?
Yeah, dude.
That's so weird.
I know, I said that, like, it's very weird to see him in other movies, because, like...
Swing Away.
Yeah, Swing Away. Oh, and Scary Movie 3 ruined this film for me a little bit, but, he's like, Swing Away.
The thing I like about it is it's scary.
Yeah, it is scary. I like Scary Movie 3.
Shut up. No,
dude,
you don't.
I was just like laughing at that car wreck scene in Signs. It's so emotional. And I was thinking of Scary Movie 3 when the dude who like killed her is sitting in her and he's like, "Tom, I'll need a ride home." After he just like killed his wife. Anyway, but so anyway, Signs. Yeah, I think it's good. It's a good move. Then
What'd you rate Signs?
7.5 out of 10.
It's an 8, but okay.
I was trying to scroll past my rating because I was scared that you would see it. Don't look at my stuff, dude. I felt self-conscious. Okay, then after that, we had an M. Night Shyamalan double feature with
Who?
The Village.
You said we.
Oh, I meant me. Like we. I was talking to like the third part. Like we had ourselves. I don't know. Anyway, so The Village. Supposed to be like a period piece type of flick. I saw this movie once before and I actually dug it. This time around I kind of wasn't super into it. I feel like there's just not a lot going for the story for me. Joaquin Phoenix is actually in this movie as well. But there's a few actors I don't really care for, like Adrian freaking Brody playing like the mentally challenged guy, and then what's her name, Judy Greer. I can't stand her playing the one girl. She kind of sticks out like a sore thumb, and just the storyline just doesn't really do it for me. The big twist thing at the end is kind of cool, but I feel like once you see it once, it's whatever. It's good enough. I do think it's a good movie, though. I think, like, for a first-time watch, it's a good thing, but on rewatch, it doesn't really hold up that well.
I think a lot of people's issue with that movie is they just feel the twist was dumb. They felt, like, ripped off.
I didn't think it was... I don't know.
I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I think it's kind of clever. It's, like, crazy. It's, like, holy crap.
It's funny. When M. Night was, like, big, I didn't really care for him that much. Did you guys submit your list for there, by the way? 2004?
No, we kind of like... No.
I think you're the guys who are the last ones.
I feel like he like forgot about us. I feel like he said like, "Oh, we're waiting on one more," and I was like, "Wait up a minute, that's not us." Anyway, but
hold up. But I didn't really like M. Night when he was coming out. Like I remember, like I couldn't stand everybody talking about The Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
And then I watched, what was his second film?
Was it
Unbreakable?
Yeah, I think so.
I couldn't stand everybody talking about that. And then like I didn't like everybody talking about The Village. It was annoying. And then when I seen it, I was like, yeah, it was all right. And then The Lady in the Water, I rented that one night, and I thought it was like the worst thing I ever seen.
It's weird. He has like two actors. Like he had Bruce Willis in 2 of his movies, and he had Bryce Dallas Howard in 2 of his movies, and Joaquin Phoenix in 2.
3.
What?
Bruce Willis was in 3 movies.
Okay, what other movie is he in?
Split.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
And what movies
Glass.
did you think?
I just meant like Unbreakable, and I was talking like in order because like The Sixth Sense and Unbreakable came out around
4.
the same time. Oh right, dude. I just mean forget it. Just forget it. I just mean as time went on, it was weird because then you had it depended on like the time period because then you got the Joaquin Phoenix and Bryce Dallas Howard period, and then I don't know. But yeah, I mean
I'm a fan of him. I like his work.
The
Visit was great.
I love The Visit. That's probably my favorite.
Split was great. I didn't mind Glass. It was alright. It wasn't great, but it was alright.
Yeah.
And I actually liked The Village a good bit. Oh, and I actually like The Happening.
I never seen that one.
Got Marky Mark in it.
Sixth Sense is definitely like the most overrated movie of all time, but I do like
Mark
it.
And Mark. This is how we used to get the party started. We used to mix in with Bacardi Dark, and when it kicks in, you could hardly walk.
Ooh.
Whatever.
I see.
I actually watched Signs for the first time, The Sixth Sense for the first time last year as part of the summer series.
I forgot you watched it.
And I thought it was really good. It's
Yeah.
not all about the twist. Everybody just says it's about the twist. It's about the twist.
Well,
It's
twist
not about
like
the
was
twist.
ruined for me like way before I saw the film.
Try trying to watch it for the first time in 2019.
Yeah.
The twist has been ruined 100 times.
If you ever watch 50 First Dates, it's like ruined in that film.
I hate that movie.
I love that movie. But
Nerd.
whatever.
Virgin.
What?
Go.
Okay. Okay. So after that, I watched Jennifer's Body. I did this for a movie versus movie horror podcast.
What was that?
Jennifer's Body with Ginger Snaps. I picked it.
Why?
Because they're very similar movies. I'm pretty sure Jennifer's Body just stole the entire plot line from Ginger Snaps and made it a devil movie instead of a werewolf film.
You know what's weird is when Jennifer's Body was coming out and it was being advertised, I thought it was a werewolf movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can kind of see that maybe. But I remember it was just super overly advertised back then. But I won't say much on it, but I like it. I enjoy the film. I don't think it's bad, so that is my opinion. Then after that, I watched Ginger Snaps, and don't look at my stuff. And Ginger Snaps, I think, is a good move as well. Don't want to say much on that.
Why? I want to hear.
Because I'm doing it. I did it on my other podcast.
I know you know I'm not gonna listen to that.
Okay, but like these people might.
Who?
Like Watson listens to both.
Watson doesn't like.
I think Dave Z might.
Okay, but what is the move? What did you think about it?
Ginger Snaps?
Yeah.
It's a good move. I saw it only one other time before, honestly. It's not one I really grew up on or anything, but I like it. I like the two sisters, the dynamic between them. I think they have great chemistry. They seem like they could actually be sisters. I like the whole thing with Ginger is kind of like a little bit controlling of Bridget. Like Bridget just kind of does what Ginger wants, and then something happens to Ginger, and then Bridget's trying to stop it. I think it has pretty good effects in it with the hair growing on her and abnormal spots and just like the tail. I think it's like gross out and just disturbing looking.
Okay, dude, that's a lot. I'm just joking.
I thought you cared. What was that?
I think that Ginger Snaps. Little known fact, you might not know this about me. Ginger Snaps is my favorite werewolf movie.
Really?
Yes, of all time.
Huh.
What is yours?
Honestly, dude, I feel like... Well, actually, at this point, I think Silver Bullet would be mine.
That's a good one.
Yes.
Probably top 5 for me.
And then I actually really enjoy American Werewolf in Lundix. So that might be
Yeah,
number 2.
American Werewolf in
Snaps after
Lundix is one of my favorites now, too.
Mm-hmm. And then Ginger Snaps probably after that. Then I guess The Howling. I've probably seen more movies. I just can't think of them right now. But off the top of my head, that would be my order. But after that, I also...
What about Dog Soldiers?
Well, I'm in the midst of watching that whenever you leave for the first time. And
Okay.
I think it's pretty good, too, so far. I don't know. I'm a little iffy on the effects of the wolves in it. But I think it's a cool plot. But after that, I also...
7.
After that, I also watched Don't Run, kind of. I was a little bit into the movie already when I turned on that stream, because I also bought that stream, and unfortunately, I also was pretty busy this weekend and didn't get too much on it, but, I checked it out. I thought it was good. Good little monster movie, like you said. I like the main kid and the girl, just kind of this dweeby little dude, and pretty short movie, too. It's like an hour and 12 or 15 minutes or something like that, so it kind of just flew on by, but I thought it was cool. Then after that, I watched Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I watched this with my homie Shane. We did like a commentary pod on it.
I don't think that's his name.
Sun. We did a Sunshine. We did a commentary pod on it, and I put that on my YouTube channel if you want to listen to that. But yeah, I really like Tucker and Dale versus Evil. At this point, it's like, what are you doing?
What?
Why are you like burping me?
You did burp, too.
I know, I was like puking. I was about to vomit. Stop it, dude. Embarrassing me. Stop, dude. This is gonna play out really weird. It's gonna sound really weird to them. But Tucker and Dale versus Evil, I think it's a great horror comedy. It mixes it all very well. I think it's a 9 out of 10 for me. Dude!
What?
Leave!
What?
I want you to leave. I will finish the show.
Why?
Because you're spitting on me now.
I didn't spit on you.
You're doing like those little, it's not even spit, it's
I
just
had
like
a
little
fingernail
puffs.
in my mouth.
Okay, well, go to the bathroom then and do that.
No.
Alright, so after that, finally, I watched Portal. That was one of the other movies on the live Horror Hound stream. Portal, it was basically like about some ghost adventure or paranormal investigators, and they, the one dude in the group like desperately wants to see actual paranormal activity, just to prove to himself, and then this other girl kind of...
Why didn't he rent it?
He really desperately wants to see like some real activity play out in front of him, and they go to this house and stuff really isn't working out, and then they start like making fake like ghost noises and stuff like that to like cause effect, and he's like, man, I want a real ghost, and then like stuff goes from there. I thought it was a little bit generic, but I didn't think it was too bad of a movie. I gave that like a 6.5 out of 10. It was alright. So that is all my movies, thank God. Now we can get into the featured review and then be done with this.
What?
What are you doing, dude? What are you doing?
Why do you sound annoyed at me?
Cause you're like being annoying. This is why we don't record together anymore.
Some people say I'm annoying in real life. I don't know.
You are. In real life, people say you're annoying online, too.
Why am I annoying?
You just, like, irritate you, like, try to, like, you, like, get under people's skin, like, on purpose. And you know you're doing it, and you sit there and laugh at it.
Oh.
Okay, so.
Alright, introduce the final last move. Our featured review.
Crap. Okay, so tonight we will be doing... Trash at 60,000 feet. Or, Exorcism at 60,000 feet. So, let's see, pull up the IMDb here. On the last flight of a transatlantic passenger airliner, a priest, a rabbi, and the airline crew team together to save a plane from a pandemic of demonic possessions. Yeah, so you got this, like, priest, he does this exorcism at the beginning type of deal, and then he gets on this plane, and then there's all these different variety of characters on this plane with him, and when he gets on the plane, he realizes that the dude, I believe that he was trying to exorcise earlier in the movie is still roaming around being possessed and whatnots, and he somehow climbs onto the plane and gets in there, and then he is basically possessing different people on the airplane, and they all, airline people are trying to stop it. So what did you think?
Well, first of all, there's some familiar faces in here. We have Lance Henriksen playing the pilot.
Yes.
Kelly Maroney plays the little person's mother. Was that supposed to be a kid?
Yeah, I think it was a joke.
It was like
his
the
name
joke.
was literally, in real life, his name was like something the dwarf. Like, he had his name.
It was a stage name.
Yeah, stage name was something like, or I don't know if it was a dwarf, but it was like something about being short. But yeah, that was supposed to be like a little kid, but it was clearly like a grown adult.
Bei Ling is in this. What? She's been in stuff.
Okay.
Not like horror, but other stuff. The director of this film got his start in Trauma, Bill Moseley's also in it.
And Adrienne Barbeau.
Oh, and Adrienne Barbeau, which we've met.
We did. I met Bill Moseley as well.
We met Adrienne Barbeau. She was super
nice. I met
nice.
Bill Moseley once.
Looks exactly the same.
Yes.
Since we didn't meet anybody else,
Bill
we will
Moseley.
continue along with...
Are you jealous? I met him at a convention that I went to without you once.
Yeah, well, I mean, you might have met Bill Moseley, but did you meet Reggie Bannister?
No.
Exactly.
Did you?
Moving on here.
Did you?
Maybe.
Figured.
But so yeah, it's at first I thought this movie was gonna be pretty cool because like it starts off with like a fun little exorcism scene, and then the credits were really cool looking. They were all like that green, and it reminded you of The Exorcist. It was cool.
Yeah. The beginning had the same music too as The Exorcist, or like a play on it.
I thought this was gonna be like a cross between. You ever see the Twilight Zone episode with the gremlin on the wing?
No, I never seen
Really?
that one. No,
I
haven't seen them all.
Wait, have you seen the movie?
No.
They remade that saying what?
No one saw you do that.
They saw me do what?
That like thing where you blew me off just now. Like, how dare you not see the Twilight Zone movie?
I mean, Master Horror John Landis directed.
I hate him.
Why?
He slaughtered 3 people on that set, and then proceeded to go on with a career.
Yeah, including your American Werewolf in London favorite werewolf movie.
I don't like saying that it is because I don't like supporting the dude, but I mean that movie's alright.
All right, but what I'm saying is, what the hell am I saying? Oh, I thought it was going to be a cross between like The Exorcist and that episode of Twilight Zone. For those of you who don't, or for you that don't know, everybody else would know. It follows a dude on a plane, and he looks out the window and sees like a monster on the wing.
Ooh.
And they remade it in the movie. It's probably the best segment.
Really?
Yeah, it's actually called like horror at 30,000 feet or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Terror.
Yeah, it's like so it's a similar title to this.
And they even do a scene with that guy on the wing, so I assume it was a little homage to that.
Yeah.
And they do like a pea soup thing too.
Yeah. Yeah. They do.
What do they do?
They make the pea soup vomit.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's that. For me, there's like that weird people in here too, like that dude that's like super muscly.
Yeah, that dude.
Yeah, I think he's just like known as like a internet bodybuilder guy or something. What did you think?
I didn't really like this movie
Why?
because it was way too over the top with the comedy. I thought it was like trying too hard. It reminded me of like stop, dude. It reminded me of like how you know like after
Look at your little wave on there.
That was me. That it was like, you know how after like you got Scary Movie 1, Scary Movie 2, great movies, and then you start getting like that stream of like just horrible parody
Yeah,
films.
Scary Movie 3.
No, I mean like the bad parody films like Stan Helsing where it's just trying.
I like Stan Helsing.
Oh, that movie sucks. But like they're trying.
No, when he's like when Freddy's taking a poop and then he's like. He gives him the toilet paper, and then you hear him go like, "Ah!" because he wiped his butt with the gloves.
Yeah. But no. But I'm just saying, like the comedy is too.
Shriek if I know what you did last Friday the 13th.
I actually thought that movie sucked too. I didn't think it was funny. Have you seen it?
I own it.
Oh, that doesn't answer if you've seen it.
I seen it when I was a kid. I don't remember it though.
Yeah, I watched it once because I was curious and I didn't really find it that humorous. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is I don't think this movie's that funny. I think it tries too hard. I think that there's one big scene in it that I was actually laughing out loud at, but like that's it. And I feel like, it's kind of not a long movie, but it's just a movie where I was just I couldn't wait for it to kind of be over. I just feel like the whole thing is just an over the top thing. I mean, I do like the plane setting and the thing they do with the characters almost reminded me of Victor Crowley in a way where you have like these unique kind of characters on the plane, but I just thought they were all super being over the top and annoying. Yeah,
they really annoyed the hell out of me. Like this movie was almost okay, like not okay, but like almost enjoyable.
It could have been a good idea.
I think if you just had to like tone it down a little bit, like walk it back a little bit, like it just was too much. It just felt like too much. I was just like, this is exhausting.
Yeah, that's how I felt. Like there's always something happening, which you would think is a good thing, but to me it's just like overstaying its welcome kind of. It seems
just
like
that the
humor,
jokes weren't that funny.
Yeah, it's like humor I would laugh at when I was 12. Like there's sex humor and like
it's definitely potty humor.
Yeah.
Toilet humor.
Like the only scene that really made me laugh was after like that scene that they're not like after the sex scene when they're in there and then like there's one dude ends up dead and then they try to get I thought the Asian guy was actually kind of funny throughout the movie. That was like the only guy who was funny to me, and he's like, I don't want to clean this up, there's nothing left. But that's about it. I really just didn't care for this at all. I can't even really, there's not really any character development. It's just a bunch of people going like crazy on this plane, so it's hard to even say much.
Yeah, I really couldn't get into it myself. I thought it was trying way too hard to be funny, and it just didn't work at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I just didn't. I felt like
bad effects.
It's an hour and 35 minutes, and it felt like a grind to get through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, just like... And I actually fell asleep watching it at like 30 minutes in, and I was like, okay, I got like 58 minutes left or so, and then I was like, I'm just gonna go to sleep, and then I woke up in the morning and finished it, and I was just like, oh my god, I really can't wait for it to be over, because that always makes the movie seem even longer. But yeah, it was just a little bit dreadful for me. I've seen some people like this film, but I guess it just depends on your sense of humor, and I do not have that type of sense of humor, so that is about all I have to say on the film. Are you trying to look up some Letterboxd reviews?
Why are you shouting me out, bro?
I was just wondering if you were looking at the reviews, because we always go into Letterboxd reviews after we have done the review, and that is what we are doing now, and I am just waiting on my buddy.
Alright, this first one here, we have a 2-star review from the Weirdling on Letterboxd, and it says, a cross of The Exorcist, the Airplane movies, and Snakes on a Plane, which never quite works in my opinion. Honestly, that's a combination that ought to be great. The actors were up for the task. I suspect the movie falters somewhere between the script and the direction. I mean, I agree with that. I do. Actually, that's a very fair assessment.
Yeah.
Because for me, one of the biggest negatives of the film is just the script and the writing. Like, I do think all the characters were good. That was a good group of people to have a funny movie with.
Yeah.
It just didn't really work. I kept thinking Chucky. Brad Dourif was
Brad
in
Dourif,
this.
no.
Yeah, I kept thinking he was in it, but I'm just thinking of Lance Henriksen and Bill Moseley.
Yeah.
But anyway, the positive review is coming from the regular Dustin Baker. It is a 3-star positive review, but still a positive review. From out of nowhere comes a parody more in the line with the mid-tier sorts from the 80s rather than modern day. What does that mean?
What?
This
modern day
blank movie. Oh, blank movie.
Yeah.
Sort of spoofs, including good old-fashioned un-PC humor that you'd think nobody would be able to get get away with anymore. Even low-budget indies. And with a lot of these things, it's scattershot of jokes, some landing, some bombing big time, as well as just the film losing laughs the longer it goes. I agree with that statement for sure.
Yeah.
Which is also common with these. But I appreciated the vulgarity of the jokes that did work, and the gonzo work put in by the fun cast of characters made it a ton of fun, including Henriksen, who just visibly doesn't give a shit and tries to ham it up. I actually like that review. I feel like that review made me almost want to like the movie.
I like his assessment of Henriksen, because that is kind of true. It just seems like it's just Lance Henriksen sitting there playing Lance Henriksen.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck am I doing here?
Yeah, you know what, man? It just wasn't for me. That's at the end of the day. It felt like bad trauma. Like trauma, but not good.
It's just, I mean, it's pure comedy. It's not really horror. I mean, it does have the effects and whatnots, but it really depends on if you find this type of humor funny, and if you don't, you're going to have a horrible time with it, and if you do, you're going to have a great time with it. That's all it comes down to.
I wonder if Dave Z's listening to this episode, because he was half tempted to watch it, and
Yeah,
I could tell you
that.
right now, Dave Z would hate this movie.
Yeah.
He would hate it. He would be mad that we hurt his score. Like his average.
Yeah.
Dave, if you're listening, do not watch this movie, man. You're not going to like it. But yeah, I know you weren't considering it anyway, but you kind of were because people were talking about it. I like the cover. I like the title.
I know, I like the cover too.
I like the minor concept of an exorcism on a plane. That sounds fun to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could really do anything on a plane.
Yeah.
I mean, like, think it like slasher on a plane. I'm down. Zombies on a plane. I'm down. Werewolf on a plane. Also down. Vampires on a plane.
I just feel
down.
like
Snakes on a plane. Down.
Already happened. I just feel like some of those plots would like end like right away.
Shh.
Oh.
Shh. This was a smaller plane. No, not really. I was thinking of Quarantine. All right, so that is it for our reviews.
We did not rate The Move.
Okay, I'm giving it a 3.5 out of 10.
Well, I came in actually just a little bit higher with a 4 out of 10.
You are a high rater.
A 4, dude.
I mean, you just been given 8s, 8.5s, 10s.
And now I just threw out a 4.
10s, 4s.
When did I give a 10?
I don't know.
Did I?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm fake. I don't remember things. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this review and this ep. Lucky number 20. And we shall see you all next ep. 21.
Peace.
Peace.